Hello and welcome to the guide for Connect to support the community directory. In this video, I will be showing you how to create a brand new community directory entry. This guide is for low cost and free groups and activities across the Bradford district. And I will start off with showing you the home page. So you could have come to this page for a variety of methods. You could have been signposted here, someone could have told you about it, you could have Googled it. For those of you that have ended up on the video, you will know where Connect Support is, but just in case you've stumbled upon this by chance, the URL that you'll need is in the top there. Okay, so what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to the community directory. So if you just click community directory at the top, is also further on the page as well. What you'll then need to do is you're wanting to create a brand new listing is go to add a listing. It'll then bring you to a new page, and this is the form that you will need to complete. So you can see there, it's for Bradford Council, it's for our social prescribing directory. That's just the back end name of it. Do not, under any circumstance, put anything in the categories. This is not to be used for that. That's an old thing that has to be part of the forms for other Connect Support websites. We do not use that, so please avoid using that at all costs. What you'll be interested in is coming down and is starting at the directory name. So what I've done is I pre-filled some examples that I will copy and paste into here as I talk. So we've got the directory name. So this will be the name of your group. So it could be St. John's Coffee Morning. It could be Bradford Bowling. Whatever the name for your group is, whatever people are going to recognize, that is what you're going to call your directory name. If you don't have a name and it is simply just a coffee morning at the local cafe, if you just put coffee morning at Interlude, for example, or coffee morning at Costa, you just put that in the directory name and then you can put in further details further down. But as long as there's something that people will recognize that are within your local community. Within the description, you want to put information about what your group is, what your activity is. So what a coffee morning is. It's well, we come for a chat and a coffee and a cake, that sort of thing. Or do you come and do you have brunch there? Is it a morning? That sort of thing. So you can put a little bit of who you are as an organization, what you're providing, and then the atmosphere of the group of the activity there. That's what you'll want to include. And then going further down, so we'll have your organization name. So if you do have an organization behind this and it's not just simply a very small activity of like-minded individuals, you can put your organization name in there. For the address, however, I would very much recommend using the address that you are meeting at. That is because this information here will actually be used for to signpost people to where you are. So if you do have an office or something like that, I'd recommend, if you want to, put it in further down. The address here is the address or location for where your activity is taking place. Now here I'm just putting in some generic information just to make it easier for people to find the template, but you definitely want to put in the appropriate address and postcode for where you meet, even if you meet and go elsewhere for your activity. You can see I'm just putting in generic numbers and things like that, but you'd want to put in your contact details and things and your email addresses. All of that will appear on the profile. I'm just showing you examples of what you can put in. See that? Comes up with an error if you make a mistake on the email, so just make sure there's no spaces in there or anything like that. Okay, so in terms of the when you'll need to put which day of the week groups runs on and the start and finish times. So for example, if you run on a Monday and a Thursday, but it's a Monday morning and a Thursday afternoon, you want to put Monday 10 till 12, Thursday 2 till 4, and that sort of thing. Make sure you're very explicit so people know when the groups are running. If you just put in generic, we run on a Thursday, people still won't know because they don't know what times they run. So it's really good to just put when your group is running. Now the cost is just in case there's any contribution or donation for the person when they attend. As we know, some groups are free, some there is a cost, some there is a donation, some there is a blind contribution, that sort of thing. So just make sure that you detail it in there. If it is a blind contribution, say blind contribution up to £3, you can put that in the cost. If it's a set £5 for the session, just put in £5 for the session. A contact name. So if you do have a main contact person, and again, you don't have to put this in here. Any section you don't complete won't show on the final profile. So if you don't have information for something, leave it blank. Don't put not applicable because it doesn't appear. The whole section won't appear. So you don't have to put not applicable. If you leave it blank, it won't appear. So you won't have any issues there. But if you do have a main contact person for the group, for example, a coordinator or a volunteer, that is just the main referral point. Make sure to put their name in there so people know who they're ringing and who they're talking to. Okay, for the venue, it's just the details on the venue. So we're not expecting you to say to copy and paste the address from above or anything like that. What we'd like to know is how accessible is your venue? How are people meant to get to your venue? Is it down a little track that people might not be aware of? For example, do you have to come through a side door, that sort of thing, in order to access the room that you use? Just make sure you just put a few details in there. Now, in terms of the venue information, this is to be left blank. This is for a little API code that we have that's linked with Accessible, which is another website. So if you can leave that blank for us to check out and view, that would be greatly appreciated. The next two bits, so the venue phone number and the venue website, you only have to complete these if they are different to the one that you have put in elsewhere. Again, if you leave it blank, it won't show. But if there is a phone number for the venue, in case people need more information, or that's a contact point that you do use for your group, then make sure to put it in there. Again, the organization details, these are all optional. If you don't put any information in, then it won't appear, so it won't look like you've missed something on the actual profile. However, as you can see, I've been putting information in every section. That is purely because this will eventually be a template that people will then see on the website. So it's just useful for people to know what this means when it comes to the website. What you can do on that one, as you can see, you can attach images. So if you do have an organization image that you would like to include in the profile, you can just click on that button there and link one in from your computer. As you can see, I'm just saying that if it's different from the above, just make sure to include it. But you've got your address, your postcode. So if you have an office location, you can include it there. Your office phone number, email address, and website for your organization. Again, if it's different from your group, if your group has a specific website and specific contact details, different from your organization details. If you want people, maybe they want to find out what else you offer in the Bradford area, then you're more than welcome to put that in there and advertise your organization, but it does need to be separate from the group that you're advertising here. What you can also do, as we are aware that a lot of groups that enter information on the community directory do have this. If you do have a Facebook page or a profile, please link that in here. If you're unsure on how to do that, as it says there, just contact our email address, connectsupport@bradford.gov.uk, and we'll be more than happy to help you in how to advertise the Facebook group there. Again, sometimes you can have that little bit of a personal touch on Facebook that you can't hear. So the longitude and latitude, like above for the venue information, please make sure to leave those blanks. They are again an API section for us to use, and basically that is for our what three words map that will appear on your profile. If you do know the longitude and latitude, then you're more than welcome to put that in there. But if you're not sure, please just leave it and we'll complete it after you've submitted it. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's all the text-based part of this. Now we come to the attributes. So the attributes are how people are going to find you if they don't know your name. They're the little filters on the side of the directory, which I can actually show you now. So if you look down here, you've got all our filters. So you've got the cost, you've got the type of activity, you've got grant funded groups for those that are funded by the local authority. So there are a load of filters there that people can use. So I will be ticking most of these. Again, it's a template. I want it to be viewed by everyone, no matter what they're trying to find. But you'll want to click the ones that are relevant for you. So instead of clicking all of them, you'll want to just click a few of them. But you've got adults 18 to 64, you've got everyone, you've got adults that are over 65. If you do cater to everyone, it might be worth just ticking everything anyway, because then you'll appear on the if someone ticks something else. But it is worth just ticking everyone, because they might not want to just signpost into a certain group and things like that. So it is, if you do cater for everyone, it's worth ticking everybody and all the other filter options. But if you're only for over 65s, then it's worth just ticking the over 65. You want to essentially have people that you want to take cater for being able to search you. You don't want everyone to search you and then ring you and then it not be appropriate. So just bear that in mind when you do select the options. So the aimed at, again, you've got different things here, but you could be a parents and families group. You could be a homelessness group or a carers group for carers and the cared for, or you could be for traveling community or unemployed. So again, just tick the ones that are relevant for you. You've got the neighborhoods here, so I'm not going to tick these because I'll come up with this template will come up with other filter options. However, you've got all the neighborhoods. So again, the neighborhoods that you will support, just tick those off if you'll have referrals from those areas. We do also have some groups that prefer to just say the neighborhood that they're in, which is more than acceptable. That's perfectly fine. And some people do prefer that. So if you want to say that your group is based in Ben Redding, then that's absolutely fine. And you can do it that way around. It's completely up to you which way around you want to use these filters. So that's the edit one. So you've got the cost again. If you're free, over £10, under £10, or under £5, just tick the one that's relevant for you. And as I mentioned previously, so I was saying that a Monday and a Thursday, so you just tick Monday and a Thursday. So when people are searching and they're thinking, I've got spare time on a Monday, that's when I'd like to find a group. They can tick that, and again, you'll appear under that if that's where you are. GP surgery, that's an old filter, so you don't need to use that one. That's an old filter that we use, and it's no longer relevant. It's just on the system because we can't remove it because of previous entries that are still using it. So we've got grant funded groups here. So these will only be relevant to groups that are grant funded. They'll know what this means and things like that. So if you are grant funded by the council, please make sure you tick that. We will be adding further grants to the list as more grants are made available. If you're not sure what I'm talking about and you're interested in finding out more about grants, please drop an email to commissioninginbox@bradford.gov.uk, just saying you've heard about grants and you're interested in more. Alternatively, you can skip a step and go search for your tender, which is YORTENDER. If you Google that, the grants and things like that will be advertised there. You've also got the alternative currently of CNET, who are a grant giving organisation on behalf of a couple of organisations within Bradford. So you've got CNET, and you've also got CABAD as well that you can go to if you've got any questions around grants and the availability of those. So I'm just going to tick all these again to make sure that the template appears for people that are looking to set up their own service. Got recommended activity, you can ignore that one. You've got Shipley neighbourhoods, again, as the Airedale neighbourhoods, just tick the ones that are relevant for you. Your type of activity, so this is a relevant filter, so again, I'm going to tick them all so it appears so people can see what an example template looks like. But again, just pick the one that's relevant to you. So if you're a social group, make sure you pick that. If you include food and drink, then if you cater to a certain ethnicity, then you can just tick all the ones that are relevant, and they'll be included in that. If you want to detail more around the food or drink, or maybe around the ethnicity or the culture that you cater to, I'm just going to scroll back up, make sure you include that in your description, because that'll be the most relevant place for it to appear. So now you've got directories. So the one you're going to want to tick, social prescribing. You can ignore the rest of them; they're no longer relevant. If you want to make sure that you tick social prescribing and to make sure you appear on the directory. You've got health conditions, so you can tick these. These will appear in your profile rather than be filtered for, but you've got health conditions. So if you do cater for any specific health conditions, or if you do support people with that to attend your group, please make sure you tick that. Tick those that are relevant to you. Again, you've got the Bradford neighbourhoods, which are like the other 2 neighbourhood options. These will be filter options. What it looks like is that they've actually included all the neighbourhoods within the Bradford neighbourhoods. That's because we've had a slight change. So I do apologise for doing this halfway through the video, but we have had a slight change to our community directory with the new website. So all the neighbourhoods are now under Bradford neighbourhoods, but there will be filter options. So make sure that even if you do tick them in the other ones for when we change back slightly, just make sure you tick them off on both sections for those that are still appearing on here. And then that'll make sure that they will appear on the filter. Apologies for that little bit of confusion during the video. And then the final bit is facilities in terms of the attributes. So again, whichever facilities the venue that you go to offers, make sure you tick those. So if you've got computers, if you've got toilet facilities, wheelchair access, and Wi-Fi, make sure you tick all those. So if you didn't have a kitchen, you'd untick kitchen, for example. Again, helps people to know what's available, and that will appear on the profile rather than be a filter that shows up. So you can choose an image for your directory image. If not, it'll just do a bog standard one, or in some cases, it'll also leave it blank. So if you do want one, just click on choose file and upload it from your computer, and that way you will have a image of your choosing on your profile. For the geolocation, you can use the entered postcode. We will still need to manually put it up there when you send it through to us. But if you do want to add the geolocation, you can just click on that. It doesn't always work straight away because it is actually a admin function, but sometimes people do get lucky, and I have seen that already input by the time it comes through to us. So if it doesn't work, don't worry too much about it. So that's how you complete a profile. So what I will do is I will submit. And you'll be taken back to the home page. If you're not taken to the home page, it might be worth emailing us just at the connect to support at bradford.gov.uk just to check that it's gone through. But if you send back to the home page, if you can give us up to 3 working days to process it, as it is a manual process that we need to do through the admin area. What we'll do is once we've published it, you'll then be able to go back to the community directory. And you can either look through all the different options here, and you can go through it, or alternatively, you can search it via postcode if you know the postcode directly, or if you know the name of your group, you can type it into the search bar here, click enter, and it'll show you the all the most recent ones. So if I'll just type in Bradford as Bradford Trident at the top, if you click enter, and you're on the community directory. As you can see, the results have changed, and everything with Bradford, either in the title or in the details or within one of the filter options, has shown up below. So if you know the name of your group, you can search it and it will bring it up below. Okay, so that is the end of our demonstration video for the community directory. Thank you.